Welcome back to another video, nigga. Hey, this for North American predators that are best at hunting invasive species, nigga. Like, let's get on to it, nigga. Pause. Hey, they had a block.
Invasive species can completely destroy ecosystems, and they can even lead to extinctions. As well as this, they can also cause millions of dollars worth of damage, and this is why we try so hard to control them. Invasive species should not be villainized.
What the hell? Man, that's a big rat. What the hell? Nigga, that's a rat? Damn.
Because it's not their fault that they're invasive. You'll struggle to
them doing the same thing, nigga. That was a big rat.
Find an invasive species that wasn't introduced by humans, and these animals are simply just trying to survive. Controlling invasive species isn't something that you should try yourself, because if you're not careful, you can cause more harm than good. Not everybody can correctly identify invasive species, and this sometimes leads to native species being targeted. One great example of this happening is with the bowfin and the northern snakehead, as the northern snakehead is invasive in North America, and the bowfin is native. Some people target and kill bowfin thinking that they are snakeheads, and this can have a massive negative effect on their numbers. This shows us that sometimes humans aren't the most effective creatures when it comes to controlling invasive species, but luckily native predators are. In the past, I've made quite a few videos on native predators that hunt invasive species, and today I will be focusing on some of the best in North America. For our first predator, we can look to the skies.
Are you all under the branch? Stand up and all under the next branch like that? What do you think this is, nigga?
We have the peregrine falcon. The peregrine falcon is a cosmopolitan bird of prey, and it's around the same size as a crow. This bird is renowned for its speed, as it can reach over 200 miles per hour while...
That's the bird that's shaped like a thing. Wait, hold on, there's no way that nigga can reach 242 miles an hour. What the hell, nigga, that's a lie. I don't believe that. There's no way. That's the nigga shape, that's the bird that's shaped like a... one of my bombers. B-2 bomber? Is that that? Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's shaped like that. Yeah.
While diving, this speed makes it the fastest member of the animal kingdom, and it's also a very impressive predator. Of course, the peregrine falcon is not endemic to North America, and as it's found all over the world, it feeds on a wide variety of prey. In North America, it feeds on many of the native species, but it also feeds on quite a few invaders too. One of these invaders is the European starling, and this species is a major problem in North America. These birds were first introduced into North America in 1890, and at first only 100 birds were introduced into New York. These birds quickly multiplied, and today there are thought to be around 200 million in the US alone. These birds can have a massive negative effect on the ecosystem, and they also have a negative effect on agriculture. They of course compete with many of the native birds, and they also destroy large amounts of crops. Even though it seems like a losing battle, as starlings are still a major problem today, some native birds are fighting back. Many native hawks are known to target them, but the most effective starling hunters are peregrine falcons and merlins. These birds take down the largest number of starlings, and as they also do well in urban areas, nowhere is safe for these small invaders. So even though the European starling is still a problem today, without these predators it would be a lot worse. The next North American predator we will be taking a look at is the American black bear. This bear is endemic to North America, and it's the continent's smallest and most widely distributed bear. Even though this species is a very efficient predator, it has a mostly omnivorous diet. Their lifestyle completely depends on season and location, but they're typically found in largely forested areas. As this species is so widely distributed, they have quite a few subspecies, and some of these bears can be a cinnamon colour, and some of them have a 10% chance to be cream coloured. These bears feed on a large amount of fish, carrion and plant matter, but in today's video I will be focusing on their predatory abilities. They are known to target deer and small mammals, and in some cases they will even target feral hogs. Feral hogs are a massive problem in North America, and they seem to be causing the most problems in Canada. These feral hogs are not the same as the wild boars in Eurasia, as the majority of them are thought to be a crossbreed between domesticated pigs and wild boar. Wild boar were introduced into North America during the 1980s and 1990s, and this was so that they could be farmed for meat production. Along the way, some of these boar escaped, and then started to multiply in the wild. These pigs have been very successful in Canada, and they cause problems both by competing with native species and causing damage to the ecosystem. In forests, they slow growth by eating seedlings, and they also damage older trees by using them as scratching posts. They also cause erosion and sedimentation in water sources, and this can lead to toxic algal blooms. As these pigs are so large and they can be quite aggressive, not all of North America's predators target them. Luckily, the American black bear does, and it will target feral hogs of all ages. Of course, other larger bears will also target these hogs, but because the black bear has the largest distribution, it is the most effective species at targeting feral hogs. The impact of predation by this bear on feral hog populations is still not known, but I think it's fair to say if these bears weren't around, there would be many more feral hog.
Doesn't he kind of like a dog a little bit though? You see the nigga ass? He looks like a dog.
Roaming across North America. For our next inclusion, instead of focusing on one species in particular, we will be focusing on a group of fish. Gars are an ancient group of ray-finned fish, and there are currently 7 species alive today. They can be found in both fresh and brackish waters, and in these waters they are predators. Gars are the only surviving members of their clade, and this clade has been around since the Triassic, around 240 million years ago. The gars of today still look pretty prehistoric, as they have armoured scales running along their bodies, and they also have a pretty impressive set of teeth. The alligator gar is the largest gar species alive today, and although it may look pretty terrifying, you have little to worry about as they primarily feed on fish. North America is home to quite a few infamous invasive fish, with one of the most destructive species being the silver carp. These fish were initially introduced into North America in the 1970s, and this was to provide an inexpensive, fast-growing addition to the fresh fish market. By the 1980s, this carp was found in natural waters, and they were most prevalent in the Mississippi. These carp are found in massive numbers today,
and
they have a massive negative effect on the ecosystem. They can reduce the water quality, and of course they compete with native fish and other native animals. The silver carp is a filter feeder, and this means that it competes with native filter feeders. Species such as paddlefish and freshwater mussels suffer, but thankfully a few native fish fight back. Blue catfish are known to eat large amounts of silver carp, but gar seem to be the most impressive silver carp predators. They are particularly fond of this fish, and in some areas they account for half of all fish found in gar stomachs. Hopefully native predators can take down more and more of these invaders, because if not, the presence of the silver carp may lead to some extinctions. Our final and most obvious inclusion on this list is the American alligator. The American alligator is native to the southeast in the United States, and they are one of North America's largest predators. They are most commonly found in subtropical and tropical freshwater wetlands, and in these areas they are apex predators. They feed on pretty much anything that enters their ecosystem, and in recent years this has been a wide variety of creatures. The American alligator has a large population in Florida, and Florida is one of the worst affected places on Earth when it comes to invasive species. You can find invasive reptiles such as pythons, iguanas, chameleons and tegus, and you can find invasive fish such as plecos, knifefish, tilapia, and in the ocean, lionfish. In some areas of Florida, these creatures are out of control, and it seems almost impossible that native species will be able to bounce back. Thankfully, the American alligator is one of the few native predators that will target all of these creatures, and they consume them in large numbers. Famously, they sometimes lose battles against invasive Burmese pythons, but in the majority of cases they are able to better them. By feeding on invasive predators, they are able to bring some balance to their ecosystem, and without the American alligator, Florida's ecosystem would be a lot worse off. Of course, there are quite a few other North American predators that target invasive species, so if you think there are quite a few other North American predators that target invasive species. So if you think there are any others that could have made it on this list, then let me know down in the comments below. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos
pure, like breed, like German Shepherd.
Just like these, but until next time, goodbye.
Alright, nigga, so live with that music, right? That's it for the video, nigga. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed, subscribe, like, share, do all the goodness. You feel me? On that, peace on there.